Welcome back to another video of ours. Welcome to the channel if you are new. In today's video we wanted to share with you guys some tips about our recent trip to Iceland, which was amazing. We went and stayed in, I can never say it right, Reykjavik, and we did a whole travel vlog on there. I think we've actually done 2 videos. So the first tip we've got is obviously very stating the obvious, it's freezing over there, so really be careful about the clothing that you're taking. It's all about layers, I would say.
Yeah, it might just be me, but when people say it was freezing, you think, oh, I'll get over it, but you don't. As soon as we stepped off that plane, it was so cold, and it wasn't even the coldest time of year for them, was it? It was just like starting to enter it. So. I
think the overall temperature, it probably was sitting at about 3 degrees Celsius. We in England go by Celsius. I know a lot of people from America watch the channel and they do, is it Fahrenheit? And I'm not sure what the equivalent is, but it was cold. You could feel it. We were probably coming from like a 12-13 degrees, which was actually quite a mild going into winter at the time. And yeah, it was cold. So yeah, layering of clothing. What we tended to take was thermals. So thermal trousers to wear under gym leggings, which is, to be honest, which is what I wore a lot. I did take some tracksuits as well, so sometimes I was wearing thermal trousers, my gym leggings on top, and then a tracksuit bottom. Again, really careful with the socks that we bought. We bought specifically socks that don't make your feet sweat, because obviously you do a lot of walking around, but obviously retain the heat.
But it sorted us right out, because we came back, didn't we, and we had the coldest, it must be the coldest England has ever been in my life.
I did find not a lot of people were dressy, so like you think you're going to go out for some lovely dinners, which you definitely will. I didn't feel like I needed to be dressy. No, it wasn't. Everybody's in just layers and layers and layers of clothing to keep warm, so don't think you need to pack some like tiny little beautiful dress.
But also detachable layers, because they have the heating on, so you're out in the freezing cold and you walk in, and we had some dinners, didn't we, and it was just like, whew, yeah, it was so hot, so it's good I could take off as many clothes as possible. So if you just, I don't know, if you wore a onesie in there, you probably struggle a little bit, something you can't take off, so just take something like nice top, that you can take off, and then just have that one layer underneath. The
next one we've got, and again is more on the clothing side, is good waterproof shoes that are obviously very comfortable. You want to look for Gore-Tex. Anything that has Gore-Tex in is actual waterproof or decent quality shoes. I bought some new shoes, and actually they've served me a treat, because obviously I use them for my dog walking business anyway, and I've got a lot of use out of them, and you actually already had some, didn't you?
Yeah, but we did learn this from the dog walking, didn't we? I bought a pair of walking shoes before, and I went through one puddle and it just like squelched right the way through. Yeah. So the pair that I had, I didn't buy them too long ago, but I also didn't spend much money on them. I think I only spent like 30 quid. And we learned, not right at the beginning, but about halfway through, about the electronic scooters. One, they're the funnest things on the planet, but 2, they're sometimes quicker because the traffic was quite bad, but 3, they're so much cheaper. So our hotel was not far out, but probably 10 minutes. So the first couple of times we went, the taxis were quite expensive. So it adds up when it's like probably 20-25 quid there, 20-25 quid back. But then we got these electronic scooters, and they were just like a couple of quid. Yeah. So good. You like put your phone plugs in so it charges at the same time, so you can have some maps. And we just got around so much quicker, and we were having a whale of a time, weren't we?
Yeah,
how much fun were we? In the end, we were just racing.
Yeah, it was so good. I don't know why we didn't use them sooner, because they were parked right outside our hotel. And the first day we went out, we booked a taxi, we're standing outside, and we're actually looking at the scooters, and we're like, oh, I wonder what these are for, but obviously we just didn't figure out the app. It literally just links up to your bank card. It takes the amount out every single time. You have to take a photo of it when you've parked your scooter up to prove obviously that you've not damaged, stolen it, or left it somewhere random. And yeah, we, like Sean said, we got to see probably way more of the city than we would have done obviously if we were the taxi. The only thing I'd say, if it's snowing there, you might have a bit more trouble on the black ice. I don't know if they run them and stuff, but for us it was Baltic. Like, you wanted your scarf covering your face, because when they go at some pace, like 20, I don't know, I want to say 20 miles per hour, but I feel like I'm making that up.
Foot down. But they're very safe, like the break-in's very easy on it.
And the next one we've got is book excursions before you go to ensure your slot. Now, we did all of our excursions before we went. I'm sure you could probably save yourself a little bit of money maybe if you did book it when you're there. I don't know, because that's not what we did. The only reason we say to book it before you go is obviously the Aurora Lights, the Northern Lights, gets booked up really quick. We did a glacier snowmobiling up a glacier, which was amazing, and I'm so glad that we booked onto that, because I think we probably would have had a bit of trouble had we not, because it seemed like quite a popular popular excursion to do. So yeah, I think it just ensures you get onto obviously the excursions that you're really, really interested in doing.
And there's so much stuff there, so if you just get there and think, right, what we're going to do, it probably would be a bit too much just to digest everything, think about what to do. So doing that little bit of planning beforehand and knowing that this is what you're doing day 1, day 2, day 3 or whatever, you've got everything booked, you've got everything planned.
I think as well, it just reduces the cost for us. We were able to do it a few months before, so like 1 month would pay off that excursion, the next month would pay off that, so it just gave us a bit more time, because when you get there you'll discover that things are quite pricey, like the food is very expensive over there. Another one following on from excursions, our advice would be when you book the Northern Lights, try and book that on like more to the start of your trip, just in case you don't get a chance to see it due to the weather. So unfortunately our Northern Lights tour got cancelled. We booked it for the Wednesday, which is bang in the middle of our trip. It got cancelled. We were then offered another day on the Thursday night to go and see it, and I think again it got cancelled, I think. I'm not sure.
But we also had a really early flight and it's quite a late excursion, so
yeah,
we didn't really want to waste our last night, did we, going to that, getting back really late and then having to be up early.
Potentially not seeing it. I think if you book your trip for like maybe your second night, if you're going to be there for 4 or 5 nights, and then you've got a few extra days to still allow yourself
more of a chance, isn't it, to hopefully find a second night.
So following on from the Northern Lights, because we couldn't see it, we specifically wanted to go to the museum due to that. I don't think we probably would have gone to the museum had we have seen the Northern Lights, but because we didn't, we wanted to go because we knew they did an aurora light show. They also did a volcano show, and what else was there?
They've got like obviously a man-made but glacier where you go in and it gets really cold.
Oh yeah, it's like an ice cave.
Through. It was, an ice cave.
Glacier.
Sorry, glacier. Yeah. Created a glacier. Little ice cave.
Huge glacier in the museum. There was a huge ice cave. There was a volcano show and the aurora light show, and again,
amongst other things, and we loved it, didn't we? How good? Well, we probably wouldn't have went if we didn't have that free time opened up. But that was one of the best bits.
And at the top, they had a cafe and a 360-degree like walk around that you can look over the whole of Iceland, so you can see the city, you can see the volcano, you can almost see the airport. And
there was a zip line. It was shut. It wasn't open, was it?
Gutted about that.
And another thing we found out as we were there, and I'm not sure whether we would have done it, but it's good to know and it's good to have the option, is that the Blue Lagoon is really close to the airport. You can stash your suitcase, so you can do it on the way from the airport or on the way to the airport. A lot of people did it, which just saves a lot of time, because if you can imagine, you go from the airport into the city and then one day you're going back to the airport.
Yeah, it's like a 40-minute journey, I'd probably say, on a coach from the city to Blue Lagoon, so you can do it kind of on the way through, and it saves yourself maybe a day if it
I think so, half a day. And I also imagine getting off the plane straight away and doing it on the way, that would be pretty fun.
Yeah, it'd be really nice. Yeah.
Something to consider, isn't it? I'm not sure whether we would have, but we would have definitely considered it if we knew about it before we went there.
And then obviously following on from that, another lagoon that we did do is the Sky Lagoon. So Blue Lagoon and Sky Lagoon, very, very different experiences, I would say. Blue Lagoon is obviously famous for the blue water. It was beautiful, the face mask, obviously the drink, it's hugely famous in Iceland. But the Sky Lagoon is one located right in the city centre. Took us about 5 minutes from our hotel to get there.
A lot of people didn't know about it. So when you say, when we're talking to people who have been to Iceland, we say, okay, we did the Sky Lagoon and the Blue Lagoon.
Yeah.
They sort of raise their eyebrows, don't they? What's this Sky Lagoon? So I think it must be quite new.
So in the Sky Lagoon, they've got a 7-step ritual, and within that 7-step ritual, you get like a body scrub, which is amazing, a sauna that's in this gorgeous, massive piece of glass pane that overlooks the sea. So the Sky Lagoon is located literally on the sea, and it's got like an infinity pool, like a waterfall, a bar. But we
really
paid
cold plunge pool. Psychopaths who go there. Two blokes are just chilling, weren't they, in this plunge pool? We kind of thought it was like, and obviously the whole thing's basically a jacuzzi, but we just thought, wow, this is going to be fine, because they're sitting in there chilling like nutters. We get in there. How long did I last? About 4 seconds.
Sean, I don't even think he fully immersed his body. I think you got down to like just under the chest and then ran. But I went in it twice. I asked to go in it after I come back. But I think you pay a little bit extra to use that 7-step ritual, which is definitely worth it in my opinion. Whatever you do, don't wear your shoes into the changing room, because I did that and I got really shouted at by the man. I didn't realise. Sky Lagoon is definitely worth checking out, but I wouldn't say is better than the Blue Lagoon. I would say it's a completely different experience and definitely worth doing both. Another recommendation would obviously be to try the local foods. I'd probably say that should be a recommendation anywhere new you go. You've got to get involved with the local culture. And the local food that they had, well, I don't know if it's necessarily local, but fish and chips seem to be like a big thing in Reykjavik, and there's 3 or 4 of them located around, which we tried, and it was gorgeous. The fish is extremely extremely fresh and gorgeous. There's a fish stew that's a local food in Iceland, and I think it's called palanka or something like that. I will find the correct name and put it on the screen here, but apparently meant to be amazing, but we're not really into fish stews, so we didn't try that. But give the local food a try. Just be wary, it's very expensive, the food there. But going on from the food onto the water there is extremely fresh. It's so bloody good for you guys to drink it in the gallons if you can. It's so good for you. What?
Gallons? Get a gallon of water down.
Drink it in the litres, I mean. Is gallons enough?
I think so. Let's have a quick look.
Just drink it in the gallons. It's good for you.
How many gallons?
I think a gallon's like a ship, isn't it? Maybe not gallons.
A ship. The 1 litre is 0.22 of a gallon. So 5 litres.
Yeah, you can do that.
Get
it's
your
fine.
Down, yeah.
Get your litres down, yeah. A thing that we noticed in the hotel, which we did talk about in our vlog, is that the bathroom felt like it was very stinky. And I thought it was him, he thought it was me, but it ended up.
Yeah, after she'd been in there.
But it ended up just being. But it ended up just being the water. So from the tap, the toilet, the shower, every time you run it, you'll notice this smell. Penny didn't drop until we were at the hot springs on one of the excursions that we did when we did the Golden Circle tour, which is definitely something we'd recommend, and the same smell was coming from there, and he was saying because it's so natural, it literally just comes straight from the ground. Like it's the nicest water I've ever had. Yeah, it's so good. I would go back there just for a bottle of water.
So beautiful. just get down straight out of the tap. You get the nicest water.
It was absolutely fine to drink, and yeah, it saves you a lot of money as well rather than buying it out. I know a lot of people panic when you go abroad to buy bottled water, but yeah, it's absolutely fine to drink, and you should. It's very good for you.
I think one mistake that we made was probably the length of time that we were there, because we did everything that we needed and we left too much time to explore the city, and that's just my opinion. But I think the city probably be done in half a day or a day.
Yeah, right.
As in we probably had a day too long. We were twiddling our thumbs a little bit, which is great. You can have fun, but like we mentioned earlier, you can't go for a coffee without spending loads of money.
Definitely you could do it in 1 day. You don't need 2 days to do the city, to explore it. So yeah, that is our top tips for Iceland, guys. I hope you guys have enjoyed the video. I hope it's helpful in some way. If any of you do go to Iceland, let us know what you thought of it. So thank you so much for watching, guys, and we'll see you in the next one very soon.
Bye.